All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into a language that's pretty much taking over India and, believe it or not, going global. It's not quite Hindi and it's not exactly English either. It's Hinglish. And trust me, it's way more than just a bunch of mixed up words. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so to kick things off, let's play a little game. I'm going to throw out a few phrases, and if you've spent any time in India, I am willing to bet these are going to sound very familiar.
So, has anyone ever walked up to you and asked for your good name? Or maybe you've heard someone describe something amazing as first class. You've probably even found yourself telling a friend, do this now, right? These phrases, they're just perfect examples of what we're talking about. What is your good name? That's a direct word-for-word translation of the very formal Hindi phrase, Aapka Shubh Naam. Or how about sabse best friend? You're basically taking the Hindi word for most and sticking it in front of an English superlative just for that extra oomph. See, these aren't mistakes. This is the living, breathing, vibrant heart of English. So what exactly is this blend of languages? It's so much more than just slang or, broken English. Linguists actually have a name for it, and it's recognized as a totally legitimate language in its own right. And that phrase right there, free interchange, that is absolutely key. English isn't just random words thrown together. Nope. It's this super dynamic, really creative way of communicating that perfectly reflects the bilingual reality for millions and millions of people. It's its own thing, a language in its own right. Okay, this table is fascinating because it shows you Hinglish in action so clearly. Just look at that third line. It's using the basic Hindi sentence structure, right? But it just seamlessly swaps in English nouns and verbs. Hamari country ke clouds, blessings shower karte hain. This isn't just messy, it's a whole new systematic way of speaking. It's pretty brilliant, actually. So how does this actually work from a linguistic point of view? Well, there are two main things going on here. On the left, you've got something called code mixing. That's when you sprinkle words from another language right into the middle of a sentence, like saying an idea is pukka filmu, really cinematic. Then on the right, you have code switching. That's when you finish a whole thought in one language before just jumping to another. For instance, darkness chaya hua hai, which means darkness has fallen, followed right up with there is no light. English, well, it uses both of these masterfully. But how did this all start? A whole new way of speaking doesn't just appear overnight. Its roots go way back, probably a lot further back than you might think. This idea of mixing languages has been around in India for a long time, even before English showed up on the scene. For centuries, Bhakti poets were already blending local dialects and languages, and they celebrated it. They called it Kichdi Boli, which literally means a mixed language stew. So that instinct to mix and mash up languages, it's always been part of the culture. But when the English arrived, man, it just supercharged the whole process. First, you have the East India Company. Then you get these acts promoting English education, and suddenly you've got the perfect melting pot for a new hybrid language to form. It got so common that by the late 19th century, even the guy known as the father of modern Hindi was playing around with it in his poetry. And get this, the actual word Hinglish, it wasn't even officially recorded until 1967. Crazy, right? Okay, so let's fast forward to more modern times. Because in the last few decades, Hinglish has just absolutely exploded. It went from being this sort of curious hybrid language to a full-on cultural powerhouse. Come on, who remembers this one? Pepsi's legendary Ye Dil Mange More campaign back in the 90s. That was a total game changer. It took Hinglish from, the college campus and the streets and blasted it onto TV screens in every home across the country. All of a sudden, Hinglish was cool. It was aspirational. It was totally mainstream. And that trend has only picked up speed in the digital age. Just look at this. A recent study from IIT Delhi looked at posts on X, formerly Twitter, and found that a massive 34% of users prefer to communicate in English. Compare that to just 1% who use pure Devanagari Hindi. So online, Hinglish isn't just an option, it's pretty much the dominant force. Now, Bollywood has been a huge driver for Hinglish, but this whole idea of mixing languages to reach a bigger audience, it's actually not new at all. Just take a look at this incredible poster for the 1943 film Kismet. It has the title written in 3 different scripts, Roman, Devanagari, and Urdu. That was a clear strategy even back then to make sure they reached absolutely everyone. And today, Oh man, Bollywood has gone all in on Hinglish. Titles like Job We Met or Should Desi Romance, they're not just catchy names. They're a really savvy way to connect with a young, urban audience that literally lives and breathes this hybrid language. It just perfectly captures that modern blend of the traditional and the new. So, where is this all going? Is Hinglish just a passing trend, or are we looking at the future of communication for hundreds of millions of people?
Okay, just let this number sink in for a second. 350 million. The linguist David Crystal projected that there are around 350 million English speakers in the world. To put that in perspective, the number of people speaking this hybrid language could soon be greater than the number of native English speakers in the UK and the US combined. That's just staggering.
And you better believe the world is taking notice. This isn't just some cultural fun fact, it's a massive market reality. Tech giants like Google are actively building Hinglish capabilities right into their core products. I mean, when Google Pay uses phrases like transaction history daycan, that is a crystal clear signal that Hinglish is official and it's absolutely here to stay. And ultimately, this is what it's all about. Languages change, they evolve, they belong to the people who use them every single day. The poet Derek Walcott really hit the nail on the head. The English language is nobody's special property. It is the property of the imagination. English is just that, a powerful, self-confident act of linguistic imagination. Which, of course, leaves us with a pretty fascinating question for the future. I mean, we already have Spanglish, Tanglish, Chinglish. So in a world that's getting more and more connected every single day, is this kind of linguistic blending, this lishification,